Have you ever wondered why people from African tribes almost always have well-developed faces, and their faces are more symmetrical than yours? This is my first video on the Ascend Academy YouTube channel, and in it I want to talk about what affects the bone structure of the face, how to improve your health and become more attractive, the silent epidemic of narrow and elongated faces. Our jaws are getting smaller, teeth are crowding and compressing, creating aesthetic problems, breathing issues, and bite problems. Over time, our teeth have become crooked because our jaws have become smaller. When jaws develop properly, they provide enough space for all the teeth, and the teeth fit together well. Tooth decay and malocclusion today are the most common diseases, and were very rare in pre-industrial times, and are also very rare in societies untouched by modern progress. Paleoanthropologist Daniel Lieberman, in his book, The Evolution of the Human Head, reports that modern humans' jaws and heads do not grow to the extent they should. If you compare a prehistoric skull with a modern one, you'll notice that ancient skulls had wider jaws and nasal passages. People ate fiber-rich, low-calorie plants, as well as raw and cooked meat, chewing through skin, cartilage, and tendons, using their teeth as tools. Now people make soups, getting more calories and chewing much less. Changes in jaw development happen gradually, starting from the moment our ancestors transitioned from hunting and gathering to a sedentary lifestyle in agriculture, which came with the consumption of softer food. Modern parents, after a child stops breastfeeding, start feeding them soft food that can be drunk, and the child swallows it just by sucking in their cheeks instead of chewing and then pushing with the tongue, as in proper swallowing. The swallowing reflex. This is the reflex when the tongue presses against the palate and pushes food into the esophagus. A person swallows with effort, and this force affects the palate, just like the position of the tongue, which stays pressed to the roof of the mouth, preventing cheek pressure on the teeth and widening the upper jaw. But if the tongue rests on the lower jaw, the teeth shift inward and the dental arch becomes narrow. This position can result from insufficient or complete lack of breastfeeding in infancy, during which the deep tongue muscles and its correct position in the mouth do not fully develop. Our face consists of different bones, each connected to the others by connective tissue called sutures. Imagine that sutures are the glue holding all your facial bones together. With age, this glue becomes stronger, preventing expansion as it does in a growing body. Usually after puberty, the sutures harden, and the bone structure undergoes no major changes. But even in adulthood, sutures can be softened and made more malleable to external forces. That's why the effectiveness of any techniques increases. Hard chewing makes the sutures come alive again, even in adults. But you must understand that you also need to follow a proper daily routine and diet. Foods you should avoid. Alcohol slows down the formation of bone cells. Sweet carbonated drinks contain orthophosphoric acid, which binds calcium ions and disrupts the necessary amount in the body, leading to overall deterioration and demineralization of bones. This food additive has the code E338. It is also used in the production of sausages, processed cheeses, sugar refining, and baking. All products containing trans fats and modified vegetable oils prevent vitamin K from working properly, which impairs the formation of osteocalcin, the protein that captures calcium. Caffeine blocks calcium absorption in the intestines. That's why older people are advised to add milk to coffee. But caffeine is also found in strong tea, chocolate, and some sodas. Salt is sodium chloride, and sodium is a more active element than calcium. At high concentrations, it displaces calcium, reducing bone strength. What should you include in your diet? Oceanic and red fish, seafood, white poultry and rabbit meat, egg yolks, homemade gelatin-rich dishes like aspic and jelly, vegetables and fruits, hard cheeses, natural yogurt, raw cow's milk, not the supermarket kind. And the main rule, chew your food thoroughly until it reaches a porridge-like consistency so the tongue can easily push it back. This will not only make your bones stronger and your face softer, but will also improve testosterone production. Next, you need to remove stress from your body. When you experience stress, your entire body tenses up. The same happens to the sutures in your head. They tighten and become denser. Your body has biological mechanisms that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years. Sitting at home, you may think you're safe because there are no wild animals to fight off. But throughout the day, those hungry beasts become overdue bills, your boss at work, and the state of the world projected through the info matrix as if every day is the end of the world. And the saddest part is that this tense state is normal for most people. I don't even think most people know what it feels like to be in a truly calm state. Solve this problem in whatever way suits you best. Meditation, spiritual practices, whatever. Learn proper Buteyko-style breathing, breathing with your belly, where the exhale is longer than the inhale. Now that we've softened the sutures, our facial bones become more malleable, and it's easier to change their position. And that's exactly what we do. In the correct position, the tongue supports the face like a load-bearing wall or column. Without it, the face would simply collapse. But mewing is not possible for those with a very narrow palate. In such cases, orthodontic appliances are used for rapid palatal expansion. But if your case is not too severe, you can try manual expansion techniques. Also, if you've never held your tongue on the roof of your mouth before, the tongue muscles simply won't be ready for it and will need serious training. Moreover, practice has shown that after puberty, tongue strength alone is usually not enough to change bones. Besides proper tongue posture, you need proper overall posture. Because of forward head posture, the face adapts to the increased load on the neck by elongating forward, and vice versa. Due to an elongated face and breathing difficulties, people push the head forward to open the airway. To improve posture and head position, the Mackenzie chin tuck exercise works well. Stand against a wall, tuck your chin toward your neck while pressing the tongue against the palate. In these photos, both people are 20 years old, but the person on top breathes through the mouth. Look at the effect it had on him. The head tilts forward, the body compensates by increasing thoracic kyphosis and rounding the shoulders. Also pay attention to his hair loss. Think, for example, about arteries that can be compressed when vertebrae rotate, or about major blood vessels going to the brain that can be compressed by tense neck muscles. This can cause impairment of cognitive, visual, and other functions. Mouth breathing means an open mouth and a low tongue position. In this case, the upper jaw has no support, leading to malocclusion and consequences for the entire craniofacial development. Neurocranial reconstruction using a balloon. One of the functions of this method is that it expands the skull bones from the inside and relieves pressure on the brain. Many people suffer from headaches and migraines because their skull is pressing on the dura mater. This relieves tension from it. The dura mater is like a tight bag around the upper part of our brain and spinal cord. Imagine that this membrane is sometimes too tight and we feel as though our brain and skull are too cramped. This procedure definitely widens the airways and improves sinus drainage. Bones are constantly remodeling throughout a person's entire life, even in old age. The photo shows the difference in facial bone structure that changes with aging. So bones change their shape and structure thanks to the application of mechanical force, and this process can continue throughout our entire life. And of course, you can change your face and become more attractive by knowing the techniques we discuss here. The time it takes to see results is individual depending on age, but for adults, it usually takes at least a year to noticeably change bone structure. In reality, every millimeter affects how your face is perceived, and some changes will be noticeable right after the first cycle of practice. Like the video and write your thoughts and ideas in the comments. Topics you'd like me to cover in the next video.